Good morning, good evening, good morning from California, good afternoon from the UK, to all the viewers watching us from South Asian part of the world, Nepal and India, especially. That's where we are operating most actively. So today we got very good live session here today with us. We have got our special guest from the University of Greenwich already on the backstage, and I'll be uh, having our guest for your uh, information about studying in the UK, especially at the University of Greenwich, the programs, and a lot more information about the current situation, and of course how it works, how it is like being an international student at University of Greenwich. All right, there are so many things to hear from our guest today. Please stay tuned in, and we'll definitely be happy to take your questions and then answer them one by one as well. All right. And before I start officially, let me uh, pay tribute from our side to our late royal family, late King Birendra, Queen Aishwarya, and the royal family, uh, who we lost back in 2001 on a royal massacre on this day, the 1st June. Um, that definitely left us apart in a sense, like, uh, the country had a good time, and of course, this is also a very good time, but it's a different time that we're facing. So, yeah, this is um our prayers and thoughts that everyone in Nepal, uh, enjoying life. Of course, there was freedom, and right now it's freedom. And I don't need to talk about a lot of things, of course, because I regard the royal family and, of course, the present system in Nepal. And yeah, uh, we want to thank you for your time today. And of course, we want to have you here live with our guest today. And please ask us question and get to know more about the university. All right. So without any late, I have my guest already on the screen, and I would like to welcome Albert. Welcome to our live show today.
Hello, Pawan. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here. Hello, everybody who's watching.
Hmm. You're
My
very
name
welcome.
is,
Go
sorry,
ahead. Go
so my
ahead,
name
please.
is Albert. I work in the international office at the University of Greenwich, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the university, how to apply the programs that we've got to offer. So if you're interested in studying in the UK or in London, especially particularly at the University of Greenwich, and you're considering the university as one of your options, please do stay until the end, so you may be able to hear more information about the courses, the programs, accommodation, fees, scholarships, everything else that you need to know so that you're ready to make an application assisted by Bradley here present.
Absolutely. Thank you, Albert, for your time today. And we definitely going to have a very exciting show with you today, as we know, like all our students who are thinking about studying in the UK and thinking about being a part of Londoners. So, like for some time being a student. Of course, this going to be a great informative session for all of us and for everybody who is applying and who is thinking about applying. Of course, the time is not so good in Nepal and India due to this pandemic. Our prayers and thoughts to those family, to those people who have lost or suffered due to this pandemic. But guys, there is a hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. Of course, you can see many countries getting it under control gradually with the vaccination. Like even in the UK, I just like got to read the news that almost 40 million people have at least like got their first vaccine. Yes, Albert?
That's correct. So way over half the population in the UK have
Yep.
received their first dose of the vaccine. So
Mhm.
we are well underway to vaccinating pretty much all of the adult population
Mhm.
in the UK. So
Mhm.
things are looking positive. I wish I could say the same about Nepal and India. I know
Mhm.
that things are pretty terrible there right now, but we are keeping positive in the hope that everything will get better and improve in the few months.
Absolutely, there is like a big hope that we all have here. Of course, just first thing that we got to do as the citizens, as the residents of the country, um, we just got to be, following the rules, the social distancing rules, staying home, and just, helping not spread the coronavirus like around, like when you safe when you keep safe, of course, like things gonna go and not gonna stay there forever. And yes, in the meantime, the government's talking about or different various governments in the world like are helping us with the vaccines as soon as possible. So yeah, help is on the way. I can say like that. So let's be more positive. Like my guest today, Mr. Albert, also like shared the same thing like happened with before vaccines in the world. I guess we had the same situation everywhere. Now like vaccine is there, and then it's just like about the countries who are getting it sooner and a bit later. So that's the only thing. So please have some patience. All right. And the program like here today, it's more about giving you the information about like why you should choose the UK and why the University of Greenwich and what are the programs, so you can prepare yourself. So your decision won't be going wrong. So this is with the same purpose. And yeah, with a very proud and we are very proud to represent this great university in the UK. um, like of course like Albert would be saying telling us more about the university, but let me just like pull up some information. Like, as we are all interested about movies, right? So the big movies are the like the world's top movie hit movies like Skyfall, Sherlock Holmes, Les Miserables, Pirates of the Caribbean. So those sort of movies were shot at the University of Greenwich. So you can see some of the buildings there in the movie. Yes, if I am not wrong.
That's correct. I'm going to show you a little bit more about this as part of my presentation later as
Oh
well.
yeah, definitely. All right. So in the meantime, I also want to thank our regional manager, University of Greenwich regional manager, Ms. Prerna Guha, who could not be present in this session today due to some technical reasons. And I heard like in India, in her part of the world, there is a big storm, and she might join in the show. Let's count on her as well. So yeah, now the floor is yours, Albert, and you could actually like start presenting or like want to say anything. Please go ahead.
Okay. Just bear with me one moment, please.
Sure. And dear viewers, please don't forget to ask any questions here. You can drop your questions on your comment box. You could ask us about anything like why Greenwich, why London, programs they offer, interview requirements like IELTS or English proficiency, academic, whether they have internal testing system or not, tuition cost, scholarships, if any, or bursaries, how to apply. We have a very streamlined process to apply for the university. You can actually submit us all your documents once you're ready. Then we can upload it on our agent portal, which is very very streamlined. And like how to apply, like what sort of documents and how. So intakes, they have this big intakes which is coming in 3 months. September is the biggest one, and absolutely they have January. And for a few programs, I think for masters they have mid intake as like April. And also about due to this pandemic, whether they are offering online or in-person class, please try to explore as much as you can.
Okay. So please do let me know if you can see
Yeah,
the
I could see.
slides.
Yeah, I could see that now.
Okay. Can you see anything else apart from the slides?
I
Are
just
the
have
slides in full view?
okay. I can do that. Your full view. I think it's this. I think it's its next page. You just
Okay, so that's fine. So you can see the full slide, yeah? Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Pawan, thank you very much for welcoming me again. It's a great pleasure to be speaking to all of your students who are interested in studying in the UK and are considering the University of Greenwich as one of their options. As I mentioned, my name is Albert and I work in the international office and I look after students coming from Nepal. So please do drop your questions in the comments, and as we will progress through the presentation today, we will come to answering those in due course. So why the UK? first of all, if you start to doing your research already, you may know about some of this, or as we will move forward. But the degrees that you will be obtaining and studying in the UK are recognized worldwide, which means that you will be able to graduate from a degree in the UK, and then you'll be able to use your qualification to not only work back in your home country, and you can also use it anywhere else in the world and advance your career using that way. There's a wide range of degree specializations, and I'm going to touch upon the subject areas that we teach at the university. So if you are looking for a particular subject area that you can't see listed, you may want to sort of visit our website or consult with Bradford or with the university directly to find out the best suitable course for you. There's practical learning and teaching methods. So a lot of the programs at degree level in the UK have a very heavy practical learning approach, as well as theoretical learning. So you'll get to implement what you've learned from a theory point of view and put that into practice. There's the introduction of the graduate route visa, which will launch, was launched last year, but will open for applications this year. I'm going to touch upon what this is later on in the presentation. As you can imagine, a wide range of different cultures and experiences, particularly for a university that's based in London or very close by, like the University of Greenwich, which makes for an unforgettable student life while you're here studying. So why Greenwich? We've got 3 amazing locations, 3 amazing campuses. 2 of them are in London, the Greenwich campus and the Avery Hill campus. And the Medway campus is a bit further away in the county of Kent. London was ranked the best city in the world for students by QS, so do bear that in mind when choosing where to study in the UK, particularly for international students like yourselves. London is a great place to be and to study. Pawan literally mentioned a few minutes ago about the films that were produced and shot on the Greenwich premises. So they're just some of them are just listed on this slide. So we already mentioned Les Miserables, Thor, so the Avengers. We have Cinderella, we have Sherlock Holmes, The King's Speech, 007, Skyfall, The Iron Lady, and so many more. And as I mentioned, we have a wide range of choice, more than 300 courses at undergraduate and postgraduate level for you to choose from. And we have invested more than £80 million in the last 5 years on teaching sports and social facilities across our 3 campuses. And a lot of our courses offer a year of work placement at undergraduate and postgraduate level, which means that Greenwich really takes the employability of their students to heart, and we work really, really hard to ensure that our students are prepared for the world of work. A few names of companies that our students have gone on to work on a placement for are just listed here on the right-hand side: Microsoft, IBM, Pfizer, Network Rail, Walt Disney Enterprise, and these are just a few names. There's dozens more that you can find out more information about on our website. We are also highly international. Overall, we rank in the top 7% out of 20,000 universities worldwide, but we also rank in the top 100 most international university across the world, with a diverse student community of 17,000 students coming to study with us from more than 130 countries. And we also have really strong support services, from academic support to careers and employability service, to health, well-being and disability support, to a dedicated international student advice center, to opportunities of mentoring with professional representing the industry you'd like to go and work in. So I already mentioned that 2 of our campuses are in London, and the third one, the Medway campus, is slightly further away, about 45 minutes by train from the centre of London. And these are the subject areas that we teach in a nutshell. The subjects are not limited to what you can see on the slide, but overall, these are the fields that you'd be expecting to study at the university. There's lots more, so please do take some time to visit gre.ac.uk/subject, and you'll be able to find more that way and find and explore the best program for your career ambitions. So the first campus is the closest to London, about 20 minutes by public transport into central London, and it's the Greenwich campus. We are just opposite the river, just on the other side of the river from Canary Wharf, which is the main business and financial hub of the UK. Again, really close to central London, and we are also very close to the O2 Arena, a few minutes away by bus, which is the largest concert venue in the whole of Europe, I believe. But the Greenwich campus looks, you can see what it looks like from the picture on the left-hand side. And that's a picture taken from above. So 3 of those buildings are the University of Greenwich, and then further down the road, which you can't entirely see from this picture, you will have the Greenwich Library as well as the Dreadnought building. But the whole area is amazing. It's beautiful. It's surrounded by a park, and it sits on the banks of the River Thames. So it's a really, really beautiful place to study. I forgot to mention, at the Greenwich campus, we teach programs within liberal arts and sciences, liberal sciences. So anything from law to history to international relations to criminology to creative programs, politics, English literature, computing, so computer science programs as well, and the business school. So any programs that have to do with business will be taught at the Greenwich campus. The second campus is the Avery Hill campus, which is about 20 minutes from the Greenwich campus by public transport or by car. Mm-hmm. And here you will learn programs within education and health. And the third campus is the Medway campus. If you're looking to study a program within engineering and science, this is where you will be based. We have about 3,000 square meters of engineering and science labs. The drill hole library is the longest library in Europe, and the student hub called the Deep End has been recently refurbished to accommodate all of our students that look to sort of unwind and spend time with each other outside of lectures. The entry requirements for undergraduate and postgraduate programs for applicants from Nepal, you can see them listed on here. So we require a GPA of between 2.8 and 3.2, depending on the program, for entry onto undergraduate courses. And we need a 65% from your undergraduate degree for postgraduate programs that ask for a UK equivalent of 2.2, and an 80% for a UK program that asks for a 2.1. You will also need to provide proof of English language, and there's a number of different tests that we accept. Of course, we accept IELTS, so 6.0 overall with no less than 5.5 in each skill for the majority of our programs. But we also accept TOEFL, GCSEs, International Baccalaureate, functional skills, and most importantly, we also have our own English language test, which you can take online. It's a lot cheaper than IELTS. It's fully online. So you can take it from your home, and the results will be ready and will be given to you in about 2 to 3 days. In terms of fees and scholarships, the undergraduate fees per year for undergraduate programs are £14,500 for international students, whereas at postgraduate level, they range between £14,500 and £18,000, depending on the program. We also have scholarships available for all of the students that have received offers to study on one of our programs. So it's up to £3,000 available for undergraduate offer holders and up to 1,500 for postgraduate. So if you'd like to take advantage of the scholarship opportunity, please do make an application to one of our programs. And as soon as you receive an offer, then you can go ahead and apply for the scholarship. The university also offers accommodation across all of our 3 campuses. We have a total of 2,400 places across the 3 campuses of the university, and we guarantee it to all of our first-year students. They are very close to campus, about 5 to 10 minutes of walking distance at the most. And you can see different types of rooms and different types of facilities if you visit our website. And you can compare prices and the different types of student halls in general on there as well. So if you're interested in living on campus, please do go ahead and make an application for accommodation. You can do this fully online as well. So I briefly mentioned earlier about the graduate route, which is something I wanted to highlight, which you may be familiar and aware of. It's a brand new scheme that's been launched by the UK government to give international students the opportunity to remain in the UK after graduating for an additional 2 years and working full-time within those 2 years. So if you're applying for a degree in the UK or at the University of Greenwich, once you graduated, you can apply. You will be able to apply for the graduate route and remain in the UK another 2 years to work full-time and build your professional experience that way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like what you heard and you'd like to find out more about the programs, maybe speak to the faculty, speak to different teams at the university, speak to other students, have a virtual tour of the campus, please do go ahead and book on our upcoming open days. It doesn't matter if you are applying for this year or next year. There will be students that are looking far ahead. So even if you are considering applying for next year, please do take your time to do some research, come along to our open day, ask the questions that you need to ask. Otherwise, if you're applying for this year, I would strongly recommend that you apply as soon as possible because our places are filling up. So please do consult with the team at Bradford here, and they will be able to assist you with the application process. Those are the contact details for the international office. If you need to get in touch with us, I strongly recommend that you connect with us on social media because there's loads of updates that we put out every single day, so you can stay connected with us. And also check out the YouTube page that we have to see more video content on a number of different things. You can see student interviews, you can watch campus tours, you can find out what accommodation looks like, program leaders that explain their programs and their subjects. So please do and go and check it out. It's going to be super interesting, especially if you already decided what you'd like to study.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful presentation about Greenwich, and it was very right to the point, what we need to consider before choosing Greenwich. Thanks, Alberto, for that lovely presentation.
You're most welcome.
While I wait for a few questions here, I would like to ask you, what's the situation, in your campus or in and around, for international students, is it safe to travel to the UK? I know, certain countries have restriction at the moment, but this is going to be lifted off in months to come or weeks to come. So because this is aiming to, educate, provide the information about the university to the interested applicants. So while they are preparing, what do you think it gonna go for some time, or what is UK doing in process of controlling over this virus?
So considering the progress that the nation has made in terms of the vaccination rollout, from the 17th of May, we opened the nation even more than we had done before. Which means that things like non-essential retail shops were open. People were able to dine inside at restaurants and pubs and bars. The campus has reopened as well. So students that were already in the UK whether they were international students that were already on campus or UK students, they were able to come back to campus and attend teaching in person. That's
Mhm.
what we are hoping to maintain for September. We are expecting to be able to run the academic year fully face to face.
Mhm.
Obviously, as you mentioned, there's restrictions with students that are overseas and are traveling over to the UK, depending on the country. I know that Nepal and India are still in the red list,
Mhm.
which means there's implications in terms of hotel quarantining and things like that. Everybody coming into the UK currently, regardless of the country, need to take a self-administered test, which they have to pay for.
Mhm.
I don't know what the plan is by the government to change that. At the moment, that's what things are like. But the situation is looking positive, and hopefully it can only improve from now in the lead up to September. So
Absolutely. Yep. Go
I
ahead.
would probably say keep connected, keep in touch with everybody. Please keep in touch with Bradford because they got a really close relationship with the university. They will be able to let you know about any changes to regulations and policies around coronavirus. And if you've got any questions, do get in touch with us, and we'll try and give you as comprehensive answer as we can.
Absolutely. That's a very positive news that, UK is getting better. I mean, doing better in terms of controlling the virus. And see, in the past, like let's say in 2020, last year, the situation in the UK wasn't good, like in many countries due to this corona. And now it's better, because with the vaccination, it is, control. Not completely, but, on that path. Uh, Now the source countries like Nepal, India, been suffering. So the situation is a bit different than before, because the students are mainly coming from Nepal and India. They are not sure like when to travel, when they can be able to travel. But like you said, the governments or the people in both countries, like Nepal and India, they all expecting, hoping that situation will be, you know, will be uh, progressing. I mean, the situation with the vaccines to the public in weeks to come, or days to come. I think that's gonna control the situation gradually. So but we still got time. We have 3 months window, literally, because see, we are starting the next session at Greenwich in September, like many in many universities in the UK. So do you think we still have got time, considering this scenario and the time frame?
We do have time. Obviously, we will keep monitoring the situation really closely, and we will make the changes that are
Mhm.
required in accordance with the government advice. I need to stress again on the on the fact that our programs are filling up
Mhm. Yeah.
regardless of the uncertainties. So please, if you are interested in applying to avoid disappointment, I would strongly recommend that you make an application, even if you don't have all of your qualifications at the ready, whether you haven't completed high school or your previous degrees yet. We can still progress your application and process it with a conditional offer if you meet the other requirements. So please do go ahead, consult with Bradford. They will help you with your documents and put an application in. And as soon as things are clear, then you can move on to the next stage, which is paying your deposit to finally secure the offer and progress to the visa stage of your application journey.
Absolutely. This is very exciting news. Like you said, you've been inundated. You have been receiving so many applications from our region. That means there is still big interest among the students still applying to the university there. So just they are waiting for the situation to be controlled, to be better. So that means the students are hopeful, and we are, and of course we are. And so some programs, like you said, they are already filled up, and then many others which are very popular, those are also filling up. So of course this is advisory, like to all the viewers who are interested about studying in the UK and applying for Greenwich. Please come visit sorry, not visiting us, but you can like visit us personally, like, because we have in person, face to face, like you say, like virtually we can talk virtually, and then guide you further that way as well. So we are open that way too. Of course, no offices open in Nepal, or probably in most part in India, but yeah, we are helping every interested applicants that way. Thanks, Albert, about that. Well, like the scholarships that you offer to international students are mainly, when I visit your webpage, especially like designed for Nepalese students. Uh, some have a little confusion, like how much is scholarship and on what basis. So do you have any like information on that? How we can get the scholarships and how much that way?
So if a student is interested in applying for a scholarship, first of all, they need to make an application for a program.
Mm-hmm.
They can only apply for the scholarship once they have received an offer to study on a program at the university.
Mm-hmm.
The scholarship is called International Scholarship Award, and can be applied for through our website. So it's an online application form. It's not merit-based, so it's open to anyone who holds offers with the university.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have to simply fill out their details and answer a number of questions. And depending on the quality of their scholarship application, they can be awarded up to £3,000 off their first year of their undergraduate program, and up to £1,500 off their postgraduate program.
Great. Yeah, thanks for making that clear. And like during the process, let's say once the students make the application, and like you give them the decision whether they are accepted or not, or what steps to be taken further, or like conditional offer, something like that. So and also before they officially can apply to the visa at the embassy, at the visa section. So do you like or do you take some sort of interviews, like we call credibility interview? And if so, like what are those tips, like in short, if you can provide it here?
Yeah, so we do carry out credibility interviews. So the students need to be prepared to pass those. I would say research the program as much as you can. Read about the modules of the program that you've applied for. Understand the subject. Understand the implications of studying that on your career aspirations, what they are. Make us understand that that you've got a direction, that you know what you want to do after you graduate. Learn about the university as a whole. So basic things like, what is your route from the place that you're going to be living to campus? How are you going to commute, for example? Just trying to think other aspects. Let us know where you're planning to live, whether you've sought out and whether you've researched accommodation options. Basically, demonstrate that you've got it all worked out and you've got a plan in your head and you know where you're going. And that way, I'm sure you'll be able to pass the credibility interview and move on to the UKVI interview for visa purposes.
Absolutely, those are the great tips for any applicant applying to the UK, and especially at the University of Greenwich. Thanks for on that. Well, like you definitely have to consider your financial aspect and your study plans. Like going to the UK, so it is only for the studies, or like you have got another intention as well, and of course, like your career plan. So all that matters, and your all like university information, the course information, and how you settle yourself, like as an international student after being there. So those are the things, of course, that you should keep in mind. Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Albert. Um, About inter requirement, like I know, like you mentioned on your presentation. So just to like remind our viewers, so what is the minimum IELTS? It's like IELTS 6.0 with no skill less than 5.5, right?
That's right. So for 90% of our programs, we ask for a 6.0 IELTS.
Mm-hmm.
There's some programs, particularly talking law and architecture and other undergraduate programs that ask for 6.5. And there are also some programs at postgraduate level, like computing, again, law, that ask for 6.5 again. But the majority ask for 6.0 with no less than 5.5 in each skill.
Great. Do you have programs like internal English testing program in the conducted by the campus, just in case students do not have those IELTS or such proficient test at this moment?
Yeah, and I strongly recommend the students do go and book our own English language test. Bradford has the information on how to do this, so they will be able to direct you on to the webpage where you can book this test. It's 60%. Sorry, it's £60 after the discount code that's available to offer holders, and as you can imagine, because it's all online, you can take it from home, which makes it a lot cheaper and a lot easier to take compared to other tests like IELTS, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Also bearing in mind that we don't accept IELTS indicator and we don't accept Duolingo. So
Okay.
really the next best, alternative is our own English language test. And a lot of students have already taken it. It works really well. It's really easy. So please do go ahead and book that, especially if you already applied and one of your conditions is to meet English. Go ahead and book it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's a great option as well. Thank you for that. Yeah, dear viewers, as you are like watching us live and also on the recorded version after this, please, feel free to reach out to us to those numbers as I am showing on the screen now. And you can send us email as well, or connect with us directly on our WhatsApp, as you see on our Facebook, and also like directly through Messenger. We'd be happy to give you more details as much as you want regarding your application to the University of Greenwich. It's a great university. If you like search through, you're definitely going to find it very exciting university and very prestigious, one of the prestigious ones in the UK. And I'm not just talking about movies, of course. They have got great buildings and very historical, and even the Royal Maritime Museum is right in front of, right next to the building, right? Um,
Yeah, I mean, the buildings go back more than 500 years, and the
oh,
university was founded initially as the Woolwich Polytechnic
hmm.
in 1890. So we've got more than 130 years of providing good quality education. So we are very
Absolutely.
traditional.
Absolutely. And you would find that, like a prestigious experience being an international student studying at the University of Greenwich. And River Thames is just like overlooking. So everything like Tower Breeze is close by. They have got three great campus location, like Albert already mentioned, Everywhere, Medway, right? And
That's right.
the Greenwich campuses.
Yeah.
So Greenwich is the largest one, and that has got most of the programs there. And yes, see, the situation is not bad everywhere, and the UK is, of course, like in here in the United States. With the vaccination, things are getting back to normal. Even in here, uh, from this June 15th in California, that's where I live in. Even the restriction, is lifted after. So that means business getting back, and of course, that means many universities, many colleges here have already announced that they will be starting in-person teaching beginning this fall. That is August first week. That mostly starts the new session here, new intake here for most of the university colleges. And Albert also mentioned, from May 17, the phase wise plan, the restrictions are getting flexible in the UK as well, and at the I believe by the end of July, everything will be coming back to normal if things go as planned. And we already see the situation getting better and better, like Albert just mentioned. We have more than half population in the UK are vaccinated, and many are in the process. That means in next 3 months or four, when the classes will be started, they are all planning. The university is planning about starting it in-person class. That means very exciting, not about just online. So this is a great information that we got to hear from our guest today. So please, and also from Nepal for Greenwich, we have good number of applications being applied and processed. So I personally, together with Mai, will be happy to help any of you, any of the students interested about studying at Greenwich. Please feel free to reach out to us. We'll have it processed, and of course, within days' time. They are very prompt with the prompt with the process, and please let us help you. Albert,
Wonderful. Well said. Thank you, Pawan.
welcome. Well, I got a question here.
Mhm.
Let me pull that up here. Thanks, Rajesh, for your question here.
Okay, so
Mhm.
with regards to scholarship for the programs that have a year of work placement, the International Scholarship Award isn't available for those simply because the placements are paid, and therefore the vast majority of our students that apply for this course will be able to then make the money up again that they've spent on the tuition fees by working full-time on their placement year. Another thing to bear in mind is that our MBA programs are extremely popular and extremely competitive, which is also another reason why the International Scholarship Award is not available for these. But for all others, postgraduate programs that are 1 year in duration as opposed to 2, you will be able to apply for the International Scholarship Award of up to £1,500.
Mhm.
I hope
Yeah,
that answers it.
that was a brilliant question, and thanks for clarifying it. Of course, like many of the programs that you will find are the Great University offers, they have scholarships. Albert mentioned earlier in the presentation as well, first you need to be accepted, and then receive your offer letter, go with the process. If you are getting the cash, and that time you could be offered the scholarship amount. But there are some exceptional programs, like he just mentioned. Maybe that could be one exception for you at this point. But please continue with your cast, and absolutely any further question you might reach out to us or to the university, or on the contact details, to the email that you see on the cast or your offer letters. All right, for any confusion, please. Thanks your question anyway. um, well, I got one last question to you, Albert. So I
Mhm.
believe it's gonna help our future students as well. So while you I believe, you mentioned that also some students are not able to take their final exams, but still want to apply for this September intake, expecting that the results are they will have some online sort of, or some sort of or some have taken the test but not receiving the transcript yet. So they could be receiving it in due time. So what would you suggest? They still can apply and process further?
Yes, absolutely. Do go ahead and apply. Provide us with the documents that you do have. Most likely, if you meet the requirements, the other requirements, it is most likely that you will get a conditional offer. Your offer will then become unconditional as soon as you can provide us with your final certificates from your previous course of study. And by that point, hopefully, the program will still be open. You will then need to go ahead and pay your deposit to secure your place. I do not recommend paying a deposit while your offer is still conditional,
Conditional. Mhm.
because it's a risk. You may you never know. you may not meet the conditions in the end. It's up to you how certain you feel, bearing in mind that the programs are already closing. So if you are still waiting for your certificates, please do, well, first of all, apply, but send them in as soon as, literally the same day as you receive them. It doesn't need to be in physical format. It just needs to be a scan that you send into our admissions office, and we will then, if your results meet the conditions, we'll then upload, we'll upgrade your offer to unconditional, and then you'll then proceed with paying your £3,000 deposit.
Yeah, that's a great advice, because like if you're not sure of your conditions to be met, of course it's a risk, because you might end up just waiting for some time, or might go for next intake. So the best advice is make sure that you meet that condition as mentioned on the offer. Yes, you can apply now, get the offer later, but with condition, if you are yet to submit some of the required documents or information as indicated on the offer. But again, make sure that you uh, fulfill that requirements before you pay any deposit. And while you're talking about deposit, so how much is it mentioned on the offer letter? Just for the viewers' purpose, I'm asking you. I know how much, but yeah, if there any new consideration, maybe a small amount.
So when you apply for a program at the university and you receive an offer, you will also receive your offer letter via email. And the offer letter will have information on, obviously, the program that you've applied for and received an offer for. You'll have information on the tuition fees, but you'll also have information on the deposit amount required to secure your place. You will be encouraged to pay a minimum of £3,000 upon receipt of your unconditional offer to secure your place, and that payment is required to progress to CAS stage. So you'll only be able to move on to the visa aspects of your application once the university has received your £3,000 deposit.
Great, thank you. I got a couple of questions here about internship. You have program designed for internship, or how is it like?
Yeah, so many of our undergraduate programs have a year of work placement. It's called sandwich mode, because the placement year sits between the year 2 and the year 3 of undergraduate study. But we also have opportunities of work placement at postgraduate level. So I mentioned already the 2 MBAs that we offer, the MBA International Business and the MBA Marketing Management. They are both 2-year programs. 1 year is academic study, and the second year is work placement. And we also have a number of master's degrees, which are 2 years long, with industrial practice within the Faculty of of Engineering and Science. So if you're looking for a postgraduate degree within Engineering and Science and you want to get some work experience, please do apply for the MSCs with industrial practice programs, bearing in mind that these are, again, super competitive. So I strongly recommend an early application.
Absolutely. Thanks, Deepa. And as a follow-up, on the same question, so they are paid or unpaid, or how often job fairs, are organized? I know, in this situation, nothing is, on campus, but before COVID, let's say, you have job fairs, companies coming into the campus, giving the opportunity to the students who are soon to be graduates with the job, options, or at least know somebody to drop in the resume, or how is it? How is that?
Yeah, so we do that. We do every year, at least a couple of times a year. We do employability fairs where we get, representatives of companies, high-profile companies, to come to campus and speak to our students. We have a dedicated careers and employability service, and the team is there to support students with their CV, with their LinkedIn profile, with mock interviews and things like that. And but the students need to bear in mind that the placements are not guaranteed, as in they're not handed over to them. The students need to be working closely with the faculties and the employability team to research those opportunities and to secure them. It's not something that's just handed over to them. They need to work closely with all teams involved in the process. But generally, they are paid, and they are paid quite well for a placement. and we have strong relationships with training providers that make those opportunities available to our international and UK students equally.
Great. Thanks, Subhansu. We have next question about housing for international students. Like, once they are in the UK. So on top of that, I also want to add one question about airport pickup service or not, and for temporary housing facilities, whether you offer them any accommodation or not, and what would be the charge like. We have follow-up question by Murari as well. Thanks, Manju and Murari.
So thank you both for the question. The accommodation is provided by the university. So if you're looking to live on campus, you can apply for accommodation from your home country, which we usually strongly recommend that students do, especially if they're international, because it will give them the peace of mind to arrive in the UK and already have a place to go to. The costs on average is about £600 per month, depending on the campus where you will be living. Obviously, the Greenwich accommodation will be a lot more expensive because it's the closest to central London. But the cost includes obviously rent, bills, Wi-Fi, insurance, and 24/7 security. It does not include subsistence, so food. It comes. It doesn't come in the total rent costs, and but they're all super close. They're either on campus or 5 to 10 minutes walking distance away.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, because it's always good to stay close to the campus, and so it will be easy to commute, and then not to like miss your class or like and it's easy like stress free. So at least for the first year or a semester, at least people plan like that. I often see that, or like whatever your choices are like. And yes, always like bear in mind that there is a cost factor as well. So you might, if you want to like weigh in the cost that involves about your on campus or outside campus or let's say off campus accommodation, please weigh in the options, and yeah, that definitely helps you.
So if students are looking to find more about accommodation, they can visit gre.ac.uk/accommodation, and they will be able to see the breakdown of the differences in types of rooms, costs, location, things like that. And they can find out more about what they need to do to apply. And also, please go and check out the videos that we have on our YouTube page, because you will get to see what the inside of the accommodation and what the rooms look like.
Absolutely. Yeah, that definitely helps. And especially during this COVID time, you might not want to like, go everywhere or like stay anywhere you like. But of course, the university, they have the housing and they have all the safety, criteria. I mean, all the measures like, about disinfecting, all this like, options there. So please explore the options like Albert has suggested too. And that would be the best choice. All right. I think we covered so many, I mean, pretty much everything, the main questions here. If you want to add any thing here beside all this, Albert, you are welcome to add anything about the university or the, your advice to the future students are about applying to Greenwich University. That would be appreciated.
One thing that I would say is we do appreciate that students feel uncertain, during this time. We've supported students that have been feeling this way for the last 1.5 years now. My advice would be to still apply, and then we'll just to be hopeful that the situation will continue to improve. Places can be deferred. If there's an emergency and you won't be able to come in September, your place can be deferred to the following intake. Another piece of advice that I have is to work with Bradford, and we recommend them as one of our valued partners. We work really strongly with them. They got all the information they need to advise you accurately and effectively. So get in touch if you're interested in applying, and we look forward to receiving your application in due course.
Absolutely. We are very happy to help any students. Don't hesitate, like whether you have a good academic or just so. We just need to figure out, like, which background you're coming from and which subject you are going to apply to. we make sure that that meets the criteria, or if it does not, what could be the conditions, or what are other options, as well. So please feel free to contact us. See, it doesn't cost you anything just to contact us and know all this information. And we at Bradford from Nepal and everywhere in the world, we are trying our best to educate our future applicants, to learn about the process about getting into the university in the countries like the UK. Like we have the University of Greenwich, and we have all the details about applying to the university, and knowing more about the situation in the UK, and a lot more opportunities as international student. Like we have PSW post study work opportunities, which has been introduced, which is going to be introduced, let's say, beginning this month, because June 1st is starting today. And it's great news. After so many years, the UK has finally, started this, and are welcoming international graduates, and those best and brightest people gonna get great advantage of possibly settling down there too, after studies and work, or if you plan to do so. And yes, that definitely needs a good education and a good university. That means the University of Greenwich, of course, could be the best option for you. Please figure it out, and we are here to help you. And before signing off, I have one last question here from Manju, and I think it's a very interesting question, so I just pull it up for you, Albert.
Okay, so can the applicant from biology background apply for computer science programs? Normally, we would look for some academic background in computing if you're applying for a master's in computer science. So if you don't have any experience, or if you don't have any progressed knowledge or any qualifications at undergraduate level in computer science, it's not very likely they would be able to offer you a place on a postgraduate course in computer science.
Yep, same like for other programs as well. What I got to hear from you, Albert, is you got to have some background, in your previous academic history, if you are applying for that particular program forward, right?
It depends. It depends on the program. There's programs, particularly within business at postgraduate level, that we don't ask for a business undergraduate degree. But there are some programs that are slightly more technical and slightly more specialized, like computer science or engineering. It will be a lot trickier to be admitted onto those if you don't have any academic background in a similar subject.
Great. It actually triggered me two more questions to ask you. And first was see, for the master's program, let's say one has completed in engineering, now wants to go for MBA, or or for engineering. So but there is a gap, let's say 5 year. So it's first question, switching from different academic background to the different one, and academic gap, or let's say last time they graduated, let's say 5 years back. So what are the chances for admission?
So we accept students that are looking to change career. So that's absolutely fine. We will consider those. But there's some limits with regards to study gap that we can accept. And please, I would encourage students to get in touch with Bradford directly. We will give them the information, and they can advise on what a suitable and acceptable study gap is for applying for an undergraduate, postgraduate course with us.
Great. Albert, I appreciate your time with us today, and it was a great information that you shared with us, and we definitely enjoyed the presentation and every details that you shared with us, and this is gonna be helpful for all our viewers and future applicants, and of course for our counselors as well. It has just renewed, re-equipped us with our counselor, and definitely going to help us better in dealing with our future applicants. Thanks for all your support, yourself and your international team, and of course to regional manager Ms. Prerna Guha, and we hope to see her in our next show sometime in the future too. Thank you so much, Albert.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Pavan, and best of luck to anyone who are looking to apply. And we hope to hear from all of you soon. Thank you so much for having me again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, that was about the University of Greenwich and one of the great universities in the UK. And I hope everybody watching us today enjoyed this show. And yes, like, the time is not so right about, giving you this kind of live sessions, but I thought, like, just giving you some information about your study plans in the UK, because if the time is not right for now, right at the moment, of course, in the future, you might definitely want to know about the university, the process about studying in the UK. So that was the purpose. Hope you got that idea, and hope it works for you as well. And thanks for all. Um, uh, Thanks for your time today, and your participation. I really appreciate it. Together, my team, we are ready to accept your application, or like discuss about your study plans in the UK, or to any country like in the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand as well. I know, like, Australia has been closed. I mean, the borders closed for some time, and but we are crossing our fingers crossed that they would be coming up with the border opening sometime in the future soon, and also like other countries too. The foremost thing is, like, stay safe. And I know, like, as I'm from Nepal as well, and my prayers and thoughts are with you guys for um, getting it over this situation. And please stay calm, um, be safe, stay home, and that way we're gonna control the virus, and helps will be on the way. As I hear many countries helping with the vaccines, in the coming days. I pray with the God. Please stay safe. Bye. Until next time. Bye.